Hello friends, welcome to Dari Marana YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about starting and stopping procedure of a oil water separator. So let's discuss about this topic in detail. Starting and stopping procedure. Get the permission from bridge, that means duty officer. He should know means oil water separator is running. New ship having oil water separator master breaker or bridge. Okay, we need to get the permission from the bridge. Oil water separator overboard manual discharge valve. It is to be kept locked and keys are to be kept with the chief engineer or master. We need to understand that this oil water separator, their overboard valve discharge should be always kept locked and keys are to be kept with chief engineer or master. And open the lock and overboard valve and open all the required valves for operation. Open the desired bilge tank valve from which oily water mixture is to discharge from the oil water separator. Then we need to open the desired bilge tank from which this oily water mixture is to be discharged from the oil water separator. Means first we need to get the permission from the bridge or duty officer. Okay, we need to get the permission from the bridge and we have to inform the chief engineer. Usually oil water separator, that means their overboard manual discharge valve, it should be kept locked and the keys are to be kept with the chief engineer or master. Open the lock and overboard valve. Open all required valves for operation. Open the desired bilge tank valve from which oily water mixture is to be desired or to be discharged from the oil water separator. Okay, first we need to get the permission from the bridge or the duty officer should know which the oil water separator is running and if in a new build ship oil water separator there will be master breaker on the bridge, so he need to activate that also. Then usually the oil water separator their overboard manual discharge valve, it is to be kept locked and keys are to be kept with the chief engineer or master. We have to open the lock and overboard valve, open all required valves for the proper operation. Then open the desired bilge tank valve from which oily water mixture is to be discharged from the oil water separator. After this, open air if the oil control valve or air operator. We need to open air if the oil control valve or air operator. We have to switch on the power supply of the control panel and oil OCM unit. Okay, oil control monitor unit. We need to switch on power supply to the control panel and oil control monitor unit. Fill the separator and filter unit with fresh or seawater to clean up and purge the system until water comes out from the vent of second stage. We have to fill the separator and filter unit with fresh water or seawater to clean up and purge the system until water comes out from the vent or the second stage. We have to close the vent and start the oil water separator supply pump. We have to close the vent and start the oil water separator supply pump. Okay. We have to open the air if the control valves are air operated. Switch on the power supply of the control panel and oil control monitor unit. Then fill the separator and filter unit with fresh or seawater to clean up and purge the system until water comes out from the vent or second stage. Close the vent. Start the oil water separator supply pump. Monitor the oil control monitor for ppm value and keep checking sounding of bilge tank from where the oil water separator is taking suction. We have to monitor the oil control monitor for ppm value and keep checking the sounding of bilge tank from where the oil water separator is taking suction. Also we need to check sounding of oil water separator surge tank. A skin valve or sampling valve is provided just before the overboard valve after the three-way valve. Okay, and keep a check on the sample of any effluent and clarity. Keep an eye on the ship side of the overboard and discharge valve. Monitor the sounding at a frequent interval. Okay, we need to monitor the oil control monitor for ppm value and keep checking sounding of bilge tank from where oil water separator is taking suction. We need to monitor the oil control monitor for the ppm value and we need to proper keep a check on the value and we have to take the sounding of the tank of the sounding of bilge tank from where oil water separator is taking suction. Also check the sounding of the oil water separator surge tank also. A skin valve or sample valve will be provided before the overboard valve and after the three-way. It should be provided before the overboard valve and just after the three-way valve to keep a check on the sample for of any effluent of any clarity. Means a skin valve or a sample valve will be provided before the overboard valve and after the three-way valve. Means to keep a check on the sample for any effluent and clarity. Keep a watch on the ship side at the overboard and keep a watch on the ship side at the overboard and discharge valve. Monitor the sounding at a frequent interval. Then how to stop means when the operation of bilge water overboard is finished, flush the oil water separator with sea water or fresh water for at least 10 minutes. When the operation of bilge water, that means overboard, is finished, flush the oil water separator with sea water or fresh water for at least 10 minutes. This tends to ensure that oil mixture which is residues in the separator may be prevented from getting decomposed. This is done to ensure that oil mixture which is residues in the separator may be prevented from getting decomposed. Open the oil drain valve manually and discharge the separator oil from separator as much as possible. Open the oil drain valve manually and discharge the separator oil from separator oil from separator as much as possible. Stopping means when the operation of bilge water overboard is finished, Flush the oil water separator with seawater or fresh water for at least 10 minutes. This is done to ensure that oily mixture which resides in separator may be prevented from getting decomposed. Open the oil drain valve manually and discharge the separator oil from the separator as much as possible. Then turn off electric or pneumatic supply for 3 ways such as drain valve. Okay, we can turn off electric and pneumatic supply for 3 ways, and turn off power supply to oil control monitor. We can turn off power supply. Then flush oil control monitor with fresh water and clean the same. We need to flush the oil control monitor with fresh water and clean the same. Turn off electric supply to the bilge pump and shut the valve. We can turn off electric supply to the bilge pump, shut the valve, and shut all valves in the bilge pipeline go to the oil water separator. We need to shut all the valves to bilge pipeline go to oil water separator. And after this, we need to lock the overboard valve. We need to inform the bridge and switch off the breaker from the bridge. Keys should be handed over to chief engineer, and entries should be made on the chief engineer old record book along with signature of operating engineer, chief engineer, master. Okay, lock the overboard valve and inform the bridge and switch off the breaker from the bridge. Then the keys should be given out back to the chief engineer, hand over to chief engineer, and entries should be made in the chief engineer in the old record book along with signature of operating engineer, chief engineer, and the master. Thank you.